Right here, down. Protect your out. We put the work in. Let's finish. Come on, man. Let's do this. Family, I'll do 1, 2, 3.
You see, we dream chase, cause that's all we was given to start with. Then we realized the dream was obtainable. Now look at us.
On Eagles Nation and TMTP family, welcome back to another episode here on the Main Thing Podcast Presents. It's your boy, Mr. Owens, and after further review, the call stands. I'm still official with no stripes.
What's going on, Eagles family? This is your man, Big Huss, the one you trust, bringing you all your Philadelphia Eagles latest. Now, look, you already know what time it is. We're back with another primetime preview, and this one's got a lot of juice to it, baby. You got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Green Bay Packers, Monday Night Football under the lights in the historic Lambeau Field. Man, some games, real game time action here, right? Philly, we're trying to hold on to the NFC's top spot, right? We're the number 1 seed right now, coming out of the bye. Things are looking great for us. Green Bay's fighting to stay alive in the NFC North. The addition of Micah Parsons to the green and gold. You know, it's going to get physical early, and there should be some live action. We're going to break down injuries, matchups, some stats and keys to victory like we do. Keeping the main thing. But before we get into it, Mr. Owens wants to holler at y'all real quick.
You already know, big bro. Always keep the main thing. But look, to our loyal supporters, thank you. Y'all know it's all love. The Main Thing Podcast Presents can't happen without the support from y'all. And to our new supporters, welcome to the community and our family. Look, let's continue to do our part as a community and a family. Please continue to like the videos. It does help with the visibility in the algorithm. Disrespect that comment section, share, and subscribe to the community and our content. And last but not least, you ain't gonna want to forget to do this, because me and Big Huss will definitely remind you. Make sure to turn on them noties and keep your ears and eyes peeled to the streets like your local neighborhood watch. Oh wow, so you don't miss when me and Big Huss drop this pressure on y'all.
You already know the vibes. Please make sure y'all going and doing that. So let's look, man. Let's jump right into it. Start with the injury report, who's in, who's out, all of that. We'll start with the Eagles, though. Cam Jurgens still dealing with that knee, so he will be a DNP for this game. With that said, we'll see Brett Toth again, expected to start at center. Our depth will be tested. He did very well versus the Giants prior to the bye. I'm expecting another big game from him. AJ Brown, hamstring, no problem. He's a full go. So expect my bad back in the fold. Swole Batman's there. You had Saquon Barkley, who came up a little gimp with a groin injury when he rushed for 150 yards versus the Giants before the bye. He's looking strong. Nolan Smith, he'll participate in this game. He's active, coming off that tricep injury. We haven't seen him since week 3, so it's good to have him back in the fold and adding more depth to that pass rush. Plus, he's a big energy guy, right?
Yes.
You got Moro Ajomo, clear for concussion protocol. Love to see that. Suffer from a little bit of friendly fire there. Bottom line, man, Philly defensively, offensively, as a whole, we are getting healthy, and it's right in time as we start making this last run during the stretch of the last part of the season. Now, Packers injury. There's no Jaden Reed. IR dealing with a clavicle and a foot injury. He's out. Tucker Kraft, prior, you could say their go-to weapon as far as the passing game goes, ACL tear, he'll be out. Matthew Golden, their first-round rookie, dealing with a shoulder. I believe he's been upgraded to questionable. He was DNP for majority of this week, I believe. So, honestly, he probably won't play.
I don't think he's going to play.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to play, truth be told. Then you have Nate Hobbs and Lucas Van Ness, both trending towards out. That means that the Packers are banged up receiver-wise, secondary, a little bit in the trenches. This is time where you got to let AJ Brown, DeVonta Smith eat in the passing game. But don't forget about Saquon. run that damn ball this week, right? Let them run wild. But it's looking like it's a banged up team, and we should go in here and handle business. Let's not give them hope. Kick them while they down, you know?
Most definitely, like you said, bro, they are a banged up team, and as you mentioned, Tucker Craft being out, that is a major blow to their passing attack because that is Jordan Love's security blanket. When everything falls apart, he looks for Tucker Craft, but it's unfortunate, and hopefully he has a speedy recovery process. He tore his ACL last week against the Carolina Panthers and their loss at Lambeau Field. But then also you mentioned Matthew Golden, their speedster rookie out of Texas. That is a big blow because he stretches the field. They want him to be that deep threat. And with him being out, they're going to be shorthanded. Obviously, they got Christian Watson. He's a speed guy, and Romeo Dobbs. But with a lot of their pass catchers being out, it bodes very, very well for us here in Philadelphia. And now you already mentioned Lambeau Field because being historic, and we got some things for y'all, man. Because look, this is where QB1 Jalen Hurts era comes back full circle. Look, family, let's take it back for a second. Let's take it right down memory lane real quick. Scratch on your memory bank, man, because on December 6th, 2020, almost 6 years ago, 6 years ago,
a star was born.
Every day a star is born. That's when, man, that boy QB1 stepped onto the field at Lambeau for the very first time, replacing then quarterback Carson Wentz. This was the start of a new chapter, and to Husky's point, a star was born. But now QB1 returns and he's back, but not as a backup. He is a bona fide MVP candidate. Look, here's some key stats that y'all got to pay attention to, because with the national media out there giving all these different narratives about QB1, you would think that this man cannot play quarterback at the highest level. But now here's some key stats for y'all. The touchdown to turnover ratio, like Big Hustle, chef's kiss. This man is 20 touchdowns to 2 turnovers. All right. That's the best in the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. He has a 70% completion rate. That's his career high. So as we always say, he gets better and better and better every year. He builds upon his performances and always looks to strive to be the best and get better over time. Look, he has a 114.4 passer rating in the NFL. That is ranks 4th. That's 4th in the NFL as a passer, okay? And then finally, he has a 10.1 yards per attempt on 3rd and 4th downs. If that doesn't scream elite efficiency, I don't know what else to tell y'all. If y'all want to keep listening to the national media and things like that instead of listening to Mr. Owens and Big Huss, y'all going to keep getting misconstrued and getting led down the wrong path. But look, with all of these stats that I named, only QB1, Tom Brady, and Drew Brees have ever hit that 70% completion percentage and 110 passer rating combo through 8 games. So yeah, like we said, that is MVP level stuff right there from our quarterback, truly QB1.
Hey, elite player deserves elite company, right? So he's doing what we all knew QB1 can do. It's everybody outside of Philly who doubts him. He loves to prove y'all haters wrong, right? But let's talk about this Eagles defense a bit. Look, so let's start with the obvious. You can't beat Green Bay if you don't tackle Josh Jacobs. He's not having the monster year that he's probably had in prior years, but he is still a beast, ladies and gentlemen, right? Jacobs has 534 yards on 141 carries. That's a little under 4 yards per carry, sitting at 3.8. That's 14th in the NFL. Middle of the pack. Not a big playback, but he's super powerful, super physical, elite in goal line situations with 10 touchdowns already on the season. That's damn near a touchdown a game, right? So although he's not picking up the yardage, my man is still affecting the scoreboard. The Eagles have been up and down tackling this year. Me and Mr. Owens have talked about that at length, basically beating it with a dead horse. We cannot afford a letdown.
No.
We have to tackle and rally to the ball. Finish, 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 finish. He has great contact balance. And as we mentioned, especially with him, just to be Jordan Love now, missing several weapons in the passing attack, they're going to look to that running attack to kind of shoulder some of that load. Vic Fangio said it best. They've got one of the best backs in the league. The Philly front seven was built for this. They expect big games from the Kobe Dean and Jordan Davis, setting the tone early. And guess what? I'm with Vic. I expect big games from them fellas too. This is a week where this defense can show up and show out. Let's go out there and set the tone from the get, playing physical football, finishing at the point, tackling. It has to be better.
Tackling does have to be better, bro. As you mentioned, it sounds like a broken record. We're breeding a dead horse, but it's the fundamentals. It's the basics.
There you go.
Tackle, tackle, tackle. That is how you win football games, especially with a team like Green Bay, because we know that they want to run and establish that run game to set up play action for Jordan Love. That is where they feast. That is where they do majority of their work on offense is off of play action. Now, let's look at this. I know that they have Josh Jacobs, and also they have Emmanuel Wilson, who can tote the rock a little bit as well. But some statistics for the Green Bay Packers is now we know that they want to set up their their run game, as me and Big Huss mentioned, but their run game has not been up to par as past years. They rush the ball they get 4 yards of rush, and then they run the ball about 29 times a game and get 112.9 rush yards per game. We're used to seeing the Packers be kind of near the top in terms of rushing offense. But look, that bodes well for us here in Philadelphia. If you can limit Josh Jacobs, as Big Huss mentioned, and Emmanuel Wilson, that leaves the Packers one-dimensional. And we know how Jordan Love gets when that run game is not being a beneficiary to him. And that's where we switch over to our secondary versus Jordan Love's gunslinger mindset. We know that Jordan Love can dice and carve you up from the pocket when that pocket is clean. But once you start getting pressure on the interior line, once you start collapsing the pocket and setting the edge, Jordan Love starts to get in chaos and he starts to turn the football over. Now, Jordan Love does rank top 5 in 20-yard completions again this season. He has 30 explosive plays, so that's 20 plus yards for explosive plays. But he is an aggressive quarterback. Sometimes he's a bit too aggressive. He has 3 interceptions this year, but plenty of near interceptions. This is where Guantanamo Bay, Quinyon Mitchell, and Reed Blankenship gotta make him pay, because we know, because when he's sitting in the pocket and you put pressure on him, he's throwing off of his back foot and he has to break, contain and things like that, and get on a scramble drill. Jordan Love does not feel comfortable in that situation. So we have to take advantage of them, of that, especially with them being limited with their players, especially with Jaden Reed being out and Tucker Kraft both being out. He's going to probably rely on Christian Watson. All right. And if he's on a pitch count, it could get thin very quickly for the Green Bay Packers. We know that Christian Watson, he's 6'4" and runs a 4.36 and a 40. So we cannot let him get behind us. Stay deepest of the deep. But that's where Vic Fangio comes in and he runs that umbrella. He makes sure that all of those passes stay in front of us and we come up and rally and tackle. But look, if Guantanamo Bay does trail Christian Watson and shadow Christian Watson, expect Vic Fangio to shade over some safety help and bait Jordan Love into throwing some of those interceptions and having some mistakes from the pocket. That is turnovers waiting to happen. We know that Jordan Love cannot handle the pressure, so we just got to get to him early and often and get him off of his spot.
For sure. Like I said, you spoke about the back end. Now, what's the secondary's best friend? a good pass rush.
Yes.
Let's talk about the battle in the trenches just a little bit. The Packers O-line kind of looks like this week. You have left guard Aaron Banks, who is limited, dealing with a stinger. Food. You had right guard Jordan Morgan, starting for bench Sean Ryan. Food. Okay. Elton Jenkins back at the center guard mix. Food.
More, please.
Okay. Oh, and then you have tackles Rasheed Walker and Zach Tom, who are solid, more so Zach Tom than Rasheed Walker, but food. Okay. As you said, Jordan Love is one of them quarterbacks. You can't let him sit back there with a clean pocket. If he has a clean pocket, he will light you up.
Mm-hmm.
And he has been fairly decent this year as far as throwing the ball. So you have to keep him on the move. Now, this isn't the Packard offensive line that we've seen from years prior, where that O-line has some Hall of Fame talent up there and they were really stout. And Love likes to hold on to the ball. So the combination of Love holding on to the ball, this line not being as elite as it once was, can lead to some opportunities for this defense to feast. Get a couple turnovers, whether it be an interception, a forced fumble. You know, we love punching at the ball, right? We got Jalen Phillips ready to make his Eagles debut. We got BG back in the fold, saying that nickel out there, that 5-5, hey, doing the blitz. Hey, you feel me? Ready to see that. And then we're getting Nolan Smith returning from IR. You add that to the combination of Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, Amora Jomo. This team, even outside of Joe blitzing, how we blitz more this year, that front five, depending upon the front that we're using at the time, should be able to feast. We should be able to find some weak links, kind of confuse this O-line, and really create some pressure on Jordan Love. We have to get him off the mark. It starts with shutting down the run, but when they go back into those obvious passing situations, Jordan Love up. Excuse me. Now, as far as we've been getting pressures, let's get about 3-4 sacks this week. Hell, let's get another 5-sack game. This is an opportunity for us to build some confidence. Step on the Packers. They're trying to make them our rivals. It's not that. It's levels to this. It's levels to this. We're S tier, right? We the cream of the crop. Straight up.
Creme de la creme.
Creme de la creme. Okay. This is a week, especially with this banged up O-line, where we should be able to get after it and make some noise up front defensively.
Yes, we should definitely be able to get after them. Like you said, with their offensive line going and shuffle and everything of that nature, man, look, we create hurries and pressures. We need to get Jordan Love on the ground. He does not like pressure in his face. He folds. He will give you a few of them things if you just be patient, if you're disciplined and understand your assignment and play team football. This should be a simple game for us going against the Green Bay Packers. But the Green Bay Packers, because they got a guy who we're very, very familiar with from his time down in Dallas, the Cowboys, if you want to call them that, that being Micah Parsons. He is the wild card in all of this. Now, it still kind of does sound weird saying Micah Parsons, the Green Bay Packer, right? But he has been their difference maker. On the season, he has 6.5 sacks, 14 quarterback hits, and some game-changing moments in crunch time. Look, we know he'll move all over the line, get into different formations and things like that, just like he did in Dallas, trying to isolate him on mismatches. But we already know who we got over here. That's the offensive line coach, that boy Jeff Stoutland. And we know his crew knows the drill. This ain't nothing new for Jordan Mailata. This is nothing new for Landon Dickerson. This is nothing new for Lane Johnson. They have lined up against Micah Parsons countless times. And one thing that I saw was Jordan Mailata said he welcomes and embraces the challenge. This is what I love from our team, because yeah, you can have a dog on the other side, but we got some dogs over here as well that want to battle, that want to compete at the highest level. And the last time I checked, Micah Parsons, he wrecks the game against a lot of other teams. When he comes and plays the Philadelphia Eagles, you rarely hear the commentators and the color analysts calling Micah Parsons' name. So I will expect us again to neutralize Micah Parsons, he's not going to wreck the game how he usually does against all these other teams. We will be prepared for him. And look, speaking of Jordan Mailata, he's allowed just 1 sack all year, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Do you know how many times he had to kick? What is that? The kick step. You know how many kick steps my man has done this year?
Really?
And only giving up 1 sack. That is phenomenal, especially from a bookend tackle. That is our quarterback's blind side. He's protecting QB1. So for him to only give up 1 sack on a year, kudos to him, because we know his story coming from Australia, being a rugby player. We didn't know what we were going to get out of Jordan Mailata. But the fact that he put his head down and continued to work, getting advice from not only Jeff Stoutland, but from all pros on our team, from Jason Kelsey to Lane Johnson, even Landon Dickerson being his best friend. He has turned into a premier left tackle. And not only a left tackle, this man can sing. This man be blowing down. He be over all that. You see what I'm saying? So
an angel.
voice of an angel. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But Lane Johnson, look, he's still perfect in pass pro. He is a future first ballot Hall of Famer. But the formula is simple, just like pi, 3 squared, whatever you want to do. Run it at Micah Parsons. Do not run away from him. That makes him have to read and react and make him hesitate. You see what I'm saying? Because when you run at him, he has to figure it out. He has to sort all that out. But we don't want to give him that opportunity where you run away from him. And we know that Micah Parsons can track down some people from the back. You see what I'm saying? Run directly at him and make him have to pick and choose how he's going to have to play this run game. But look, that is the main thing. It's a simple ingredient here for the Philadelphia Eagles. Be physical, balanced, and disciplined. And we should do well against Micah Parsons and that Green Bay Packers defense.
Absolutely. Like you said, you spoke on the elite nature of Jordan Mailata. Lane Johnson is just as elite, ladies and gentlemen. Lane Johnson's career versus Michael Parsons, 37 pass blocking matchups, right? Over the years, 5 pressures allowed, 1 sack. So Jeff Stoutland and this front 5, this offensive line, they know what they're doing. They've seen enough Michael Parsons to know how to handle this man, right? We have the elite players to go up against any elite talent that we may face. And we always come out the victors when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned running the ball. You're right. Run the damn ball.
Run it.
Dominate TOP the time of possession, right? The Eagles game, it woke up before the bye. Like I said, versus that Giants team, Saquon Barkley, 150 yards. Tank Bigsby, who we signed as a kick returner, we start handing him the peel. He gets 100 yards in that game. They faced this Packers defense that is 5th in rushing yards allowed. That's 89.4 yards a game. So we're going up against a top 10 rush defense. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that we don't run the ball. We keep running that damn ball because that's what we do. This is a disciplined upfront defense for the Green Bay Packers. But just last week versus the Carolina Panthers in a loss, Rico Dowdle, a former Cowboy, he ran for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns on this top 10 unit. So you can run on them. You can wear them down. If Philly just can stay ahead of the sticks, implement some play action and off of the run game, get under center, throw some bombs to AJ and Smitty, we had a script to control this game. And I mentioned Saquon and Tank Bigsby. Don't forget the legs of QB1.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them opening matches, he rushed for 150 yards on them boys at 1.2. So his legs will be just as crucial, just as vital in this game. As far as the Eagles coming out on top, let's continue to get back to what we do, our bread and butter, and that is running the ball, and everything will start to work off of that. But running the ball is paramount in this game.
Yes, running the ball is very, very important in this game. We need to see us getting under center, continue to stay under center. Let's run the counters. Let's run some sweeps. Again, as you always mention, because let's run these screen games. That is how you stop and slow down a ferocious pass rush. Now, Green Bay's front 7, they're solid. Okay. They have some solid people. They got Micah Parsons, obviously. who's the other guy that they Wyatt from
Wyatt,
UGA.
Yep, you had Cooper,
Edrin Cooper.
Edrin Cooper. You have their middle linebackers.
Rashawn Gary.
Rashawn Gary. He's a defensive end. What's the linebacker from Georgia? Number 7.
Quay Walker.
They have Quay Walker. So they have some SEC talent up there. You know, what I mean, they did a good job bringing in the guys to have a formidable defense. But we've seen formidable defenses before. We've heard the noise of top defense, that top pass, that. Silence the noise, go out there, do what we do, and execute. I don't care who opposing teams have on the other side of the ball. I always believe that our players are better, especially when you couple it with the coaching staff that we have and experience.
But definitely, bro. And as you mentioned, the Packers defense, they rank 5th in rushing yards allowed, like you said, 89.4. But don't be fooled by that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. In these past 2 weeks, Husk already mentioned Rico Dowdle getting off on them. Also, Jalen Warren from Pittsburgh got off on the Green Bay Packers as well. And for the past 2 weeks, they've been allowing running backs to average 5 yards per carry.
Ooh.
Okay, so if no slight to Rico Dowdle or Jalen Warren, but they are not say 2K, if they're averaging 5 yards a clip against the Green Bay Packers defense, I can imagine what Saquon Barkley will average against this Green Bay Packers defense. Let's just stay ahead of the sticks. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot. Be disciplined. Stay on schedule. Staying on schedule, winning on first down, winning on second down, getting to third and fourth and manageables and things like that. That is how we will control this game. And as Huss mentioned, control that time of possession. That is going to be critical, especially with the forecast that's supposed to be happening in Green Bay with the wintry mix with snow and rain and things like that. This is a formula to run the football. We have a dog in the backfield, arguably the best running back in the league in the backfield. And then, as you mentioned, with QB1's legs, let's sprinkle that in off the RPOs and things like that. Keep them honest, keep them unbalanced. You see what I'm saying? Give them something to think about, because QB1 hasn't used his legs much this season. But that was a great point that you brought up, because that we can get on the outside with them with some RPOs and things like that. So we just got to stay focused, stay disciplined, create those rush lanes and run gaps for Saquon and Tank Bigsby. Even if Will Shipley gets in, who knows? Another player that's going back to Green Bay as well is AJ Dillon. So look, we might have to go ahead and put him in there, start toting that. You see what I'm saying? But let's get under center, as we always mention. And just as Huss mentioned, let's take them shots downfield, because they are banged up in that secondary. Yeah, they got Xavier McKinney, but then they also have Keyshawn Nixon. And then I believe
actually having a down year.
He's having a down year. And then I believe their other corner is Nate Hobbs.
He's out.
He's out, right? So there we go. So we got a backup going out there, and we got Arthur Wanke and DeVonta Slim Reaper Smith outside. I like our odds, and we cannot. Oh, matter of fact, it's Valentine, number 24. That's their other super cool. Yeah, the one who got
her son. Got her son.
And as we speak on that, we can't forget about Dallas Goedert in this passing game either, because he will be pivotal and crucial. But man, look, the Packers, it sounds good. Their defense sounds good and everything. Look, they don't belong on the same field as us. We've already made it clear from last season playing in Brazil. We had to go to South America to go get them BTA, and they had to come to Philly to get this BTA. It ain't going to be no difference with us going to Green Bay in the Lambeau Field and doing what we have to do. And I just found out something, a fun fact, Huss. Out of all the seasons that Saquon has been in the league, this is going to be his first time ever playing at Lambeau Field.
Really?
Crazy.
That is crazy.
Crazy.
So the Giants, during his tenure, never went up to Lambeau?
Never went to Lambeau. He said that Lambeau is one of the places that he said he has like 2 or 3 other stadiums that he's never played in. But what a way to welcome himself to Lambeau, get a couple little Lambeau leaps up in there. You see what I'm saying? Do what we do, but we have to make sure that also penalties, keep those to a minimum. Keep those to a minimum. We cannot continue to start. Okay, we're 1st and 10. We pick up a first down, but then we get a holding penalty. So now it's 2nd and 20. We can't do that to ourselves, even though we are a great team and we can overcome a lot of these self-inflicted wounds. Why even put ourselves in that position in the first place?
I was just going to say that.
Why? We're the defending, reigning Super Bowl champions. And I know that we have been building and getting better and better and better, but those are the things that we got to focus on and limit our mistakes. And we should be fine in Green Bay. But some keys to victory, man. Husky already brought it up. Tackle soundly. We have to tackle. Limit Josh Jacobs early. When you limit him, the Green Bay Packers offense will go into a panic because they won't know what to do. Because again, they thrive and feast off of play action. So when that's not there, what is Jordan Love going to do? I don't think that Jordan Love is capable enough to put his team on his back and will them to victory. And matter of fact, speaking of Jordan Love, because you know how we're very knowledgeable about football. We pay attention around the league, not only to our birds, but everybody's been trying to crown Jordan Love and say, hey, he's a top 10 quarterback. He's this. He should be in an MVP consideration. But what they're not telling you is, who are these guys playing? Who is Jordan Love going against, right? So his first game he played against Detroit, they won the football game. He had 188 yards. Second game against Washington, they won. He had 292 yards. Cool. But we know who's Washington's D, right? Cleveland, terrible game. He was 18 to 25, big huss for 183 yards. That's not good. We know what Cleveland. We got Myles Garrett, who's supposed to be an Eagle over there. He talking about, look, we just trying to win a game. That's what we trying to do. We trying to figure out ways to win a game. But they did take a loss to the Cleveland Browns, right? Yeah. Then they played Dallas. We know how that turned out. They tied. He threw for 337 yards in that one. But looking at Dallas now, what's Dallas defense about? That ain't really a quality opponent. Oh, he threw for 259 against the Cincinnati Bengals.
No defense.
For the past 5-6 seasons, they never had a defense, so that ain't nothing appealing to me. Then they played against the Arizona Cardinals. I was watching that game. The Arizona Cardinals was giving them fits. It took them until the last quarter to finally sort everything out to get over Arizona. He threw for 179 yards in that game, almost 30 attempts. Then they played Pittsburgh. He threw for 360. Pittsburgh secondary, yeah, they got big play Slay. They got Joey Porter Jr. What else they got over there? They ain't really got much in their secondary. And then finally, we saw them against Carolina. He threw for 273 yards. But out of that 273 yards, because he had that one costly interception that Jordan Love gives you.
And what they don't tell you about that game, majority of his passes in that game were check down passes.
Check downs.
That's what they don't tell you about that game.
Exactly.
18 or 20 passes that went from under 10 yards or less or 5 yards or less. So take it all with a grain of salt or take it as you will. Just
feel me? But look, you know, here at the Main Thing Podcast Presents, we got to fill y'all in with everything so y'all can be knowledgeable about what's going on here with the Philadelphia Eagles. And now, look, let's protect QB1. It's simple. It sounds cliche, but you got to protect your quarterback. Especially you want him to make all the throws and make the big time plays. We got to keep him clean up front. So we got to handle Micah Parsons, as we mentioned earlier, and then also Rashawn Gary. Let's throw in some quick passes. Let's throw in some RPOs. And then to Husky's point, let's get some QB draws in there. Keep them off balance. We don't want them guessing and knowing, okay, cool, well, they're going to run this or they're going to do this. No, we want to keep them guessing. We don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to run the football? They're going to do play action. We want to keep them on their toes. All right. That is how you beat the Green Bay Packers. We got to exploit the slot. All right. Attack their backup nickels. They have a plethora of injuries going on in Green Bay. Let's attack their slot corner with DeVonta Smith, with Jahan Dotson, who's been coming out of his shell a little bit here in the 2025 season. Let's exploit their weaknesses. We should have been this whole time on bye week when we're preparing, watching film. looking for the weaknesses in the Green Bay Packers defense. It's not hard. They have the same defense from last season. The only person that wasn't there last year was Micah Parsons. So we can go back to film from last year, see what worked for us, see what didn't work from us, and come up with a complete game plan to give these Packer boys some fits.
And they're using Micah Parsons the exact same way that the Cowboys did.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not much you have to learn there as far as the film and everything. Moving them around, trying to find that matchup on the interior of the D line the exact same way. It's nothing that the Eagles have not seen.
It ain't nothing we ain't seen.
So
we've been seeing this for I don't know how many years now.
5-6 years?
Yeah. And he's never wrecked the game against us.
Come on, bro.
All right. We're not some of these other organizations where, oh my gosh, they got Micah Parsons. Yeah, Micah Parsons is a dog. Don't get it messed up. We're not saying like, he's not good. It's just when you come and play Philly and we know you, we know how to handle you. All right. And again, y'all, like, not only do we have to win TOP, the time of possession, we have to win the turnover battle again. Jordan Love, I cannot stress it enough. He will give you those chances to capitalize. Don't forget that me and Big Huss has said this on this preview video. Jordan Love will give us a few. I'm predicting about maybe 2-3 turnovers from Jordan Love. He will give you some if you put that pressure on him. And finally, look, as we've been doing all season, dominate the red zone. When we get inside of those 20-yard lines, let's punch the ball in. I don't want to settle for field goals. I want to see touchdowns followed by extra points with Jake Elliott making those. Okay, that's what I need to see. All right, finish these drives with Saquon. Finish these drives with Tank Bigsby. Finish these drives with QB1. We need to get in the end zone. And look, I'd rather take those 7 points over those 3 points all day, every day.
Absolutely. 7 over 3 any day of the week. Okay. Like you said, let's continue to punch it in the red zone. We have been phenomenal this year inside the 20s. Let's keep that trend up. Now, we all know this one's going to be physical. It's going to be a bit emotional, especially just coming off the bye. And so we're going to be geeked up under the lights. You feel me? There's going to be a test for Philly's patience in some regards. But we have a quarterback playing at an MVP level, truly playing elite football right now, a defense that is getting healthy, a team that is 19-0. Let me say it again. 19-0 under Nick Sirianni versus the NFC North, the AFC South, and the AFC North. That's crazy. That is nuts. You know how many good football players in them 3 conferences right there? And we are 19-0. So let's keep that trend going, making it 20-0 after this Monday night game. But hey, Mr. Owens, you already know what time it is. You know how we end these shows. It is score prediction time. You gotta put them numbers out there, man. So I'm gonna start it up. We already know the Eagles are coming out victorious, like we do. I believe it'll be a 27-20 game, somewhat tight, but we'll pull away late. I think we'll just make the plays that we need to make, especially with us now implementing some new faces. You got to remember, you'll probably have about 2-3 new faces on the defensive side of the ball. So I expect there to be maybe not major hiccups, but couple hiccups. It could be some lack of communication there. Folks still learning, getting on the same page. I got them putting up 20. I got us scoring 27, man. Doing what we do. Coming home victorious. Victory Mondays, baby.
Casual. Ain't nothing new.
Yeah, nothing new.
Regular schedule program.
Yeah, on to the next.
Slight work. Right work. And look, man, hey, how's that? That is amazing score prediction right there. 27-20. That will make us 7-2. And still ahead of the in first place in the NFC. Now, before I get into my score prediction, one thing that we left out, because we always say it's 3 phases. We got to make sure that our special teams comes ready to play. Jake Elliott, I'm looking at you. We might need you for some field goals. Also, I like the fact that Gibson and Will Shipley did well They've been
Kick
well,
return.
yes, in kick return and allowing us to start in great field position. I need that to continue. Also, I need kickoff coverage to do well, getting down there and limiting the amount of yards that they get, make them have to drive the long fields and things like that. And then also on punt return, I like to see us. I know Jahan Dotson was back there and he kept fair catching a few times. Gibson likes to try to catch that, make some moves and things like that. But we have to make sure that every level, offense, defense, and special teams is all working hand in hand. And I know that Michael Clay, our special teams coordinator, will have those boys ready, but don't be shocked if special teams plays a very pivotal role. I know that they have Brandon McManus over there. He's been missing some field goals. He hasn't been the same since he left Denver, because I know Denver had got rid of him because he was missing field goals, and then he has bounced around from team to team. But I saw him miss one last week against the Panthers. So this is going to be critical for us to make sure that we're on top of us, on top in special teams.
And you make a good point with that, especially being the conditions possibly on Monday night. A lot of times in the elements, special teams are where you see your big plays with a block kick, block punt, whatever it is, house call. So yes, Mr. Owens is spot on as far as special teams could very well come up big in Monday night's matchup.
Yes, bro. We gotta make sure that we have every base covered. Make sure all phases are good to go. Now, with all that being said, Big Hus gave his great score prediction. I like that 27-20. But I'm gonna take a little bit higher because look, man, I honestly look, man, everybody trying to make it the game of the year. Everybody's trying to make it, like you said, there are rivals. I don't see none of that. You can't be a rival if we constantly beat you every time we line up. It don't make sense. All right, like it's a one-sided rivalry at this point, right? So and it's funny because I was going back and forth with the Packers score, and you said 20, and I actually was going back between 20 and 13. All right, because honestly, I don't think with all their injuries and things like that, and from what I've been seeing these past couple weeks, I don't think that they can really move the ball. They can't move the football. And with the way how our defense is trending upward, and then the new pieces that we have here, I think that they're rejuvenated, they're refreshed, they're ready to go. I don't think that the Packers will put up a lot of points. But I was going to say 20. But like I said, I was flipping back and forth. I think that our defense comes out solid and knows the game plan and knows what they got to do. That the Packers get 13, but we're going to score 44. I just think that it's going to be 44-13, bro. I really think it's not going to be a close game. Look, weather conditions, I know all of that stuff. I think we're going to blow these boys out and put the league on notice that we're not playing and we're going back to back.
I would love for them to put a 44 on these boys.
Yes, and I really feel that they can do that because, like, a lot of people talk so much about the Packers' stout defense. This whole season, I've been watching some of the Packers games. I'm not impressed. They can get ran on, they can get thrown on. And I feel like with a healthy offense that we have coming in, with Saquon coming back, with Arthur Juan K coming back, it's about to be an explosion. I feel that we're going to put up 44 points and Green Bay will struggle to move the ball up and down on us, and they'll score 13. So, like I said, I got us 44-13, bro.
And I pray it's 44-13, especially in the snow. And that's something maybe I probably didn't take a lot into consideration. How many players they have missing for real. This isn't the full Packers offense, like you said, couple, especially with Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft, I don't know if folks realize how big of a key component he is to that offense for real. He truly is, as you mentioned, Jordan Love's security blanket. Mm-hmm. So yeah, but 44th, man, I pray it's a blowout in the snow, bro. Up at Lambeau. Doing the leap, getting disrespectful up there, John. You feel me?
Hey, for real, our family and supporters might see me and you Lambeau leaping out
there. For sure, bro. For sure. Yeah, we'll see. I like that though.
Mm-hmm. I think we like BTA them, bro. I think we go, bro. Something is giving me this feeling. It is not going to be close how everybody is saying that it's going to be close. I think we're going to blow these boys out.
I hope so. The fact that they struggled with the Panthers the way they did, like I said, and caught that L, it's not giving me much confidence.
At home in Lambeau?
Come on, bro.
You don't look. I look. The Panthers. I ain't gonna say they're
no
the
slight.
worst team in the league. Yeah, it ain't no slight. They're not the worst team in the league. But if you're a contender, those type of teams you take care of at home. It ain't got to be a blowout, but you should not be going back and forth with the Carolina Panthers. All right,
that's real. That's real.
I don't like everybody keeps putting these Packers up on a pedestal, saying that they're even with like. Look, I know that they're missing some pieces, but even at full strength. I would have probably put the score closer. I still don't feel that they're better than us in no form or fashion.
Not at all. I look at us when I look at them and I look at us, and we have more players with that dog mentality. You know what I'm saying? That championship pedigree, players who have been there, done that. This isn't anything new. They ain't new to this. What they say, they true to this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they truly live by that. I can't really say that about the Packers. Right, you have some championship pedigree guys on that defense, but offensively, probably outside of Josh Jacobs, a lot of these folks have not won. They have not had that success, right? They haven't been there. They're still trying to, for lack of better words, find their identity, right? How they were saying they're trying to find their identity, right? We found it. We know what it takes. We know what we have. Like I said, coming out the bye week, we're healthy. I believe everybody's on the same page. It's just time to go out there and execute and come home healthy.
Yes.
Come home healthy at the end of the day. So I love that. I'm praying that it's Mr. Own score prediction. That it is straight BTA from the get. I swear to God. But no, anything else that you had?
Now, I just want to say I appreciate the supporters and the family just rocking with us as always, man. We come over here because we love to do this. We love to give y'all the information. We love to talk about our birds, and we just appreciate y'all coming through, always tapping in with us, showing us love. And we're going to continue putting out these videos and putting out this content for y'all. Look, we're going to do this until the wheels fall off.
Hey, and even then, we're going to keep going. You feel me? So now, like Mr. Ohm said, we appreciate y'all rocking with us. We appreciate y'all supporting the birds. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. We love what we do. Monday Night Football is approaching. Make sure that you're locked in. Hey, I know YouTube TV, they got a little funny business going on. So if you can't watch the game, hey, it's on Disney Plus, on ESPN, or go stream it somewhere. Please make sure that you lock it in, supporting the channel, supporting your birds. You can watch us all be victorious and sharing this glory. These are the glory days, man. Like what?
These are the golden days right here, man.
Man. Hey, it's a whole vibe out here in Philly. You feel me?
Oh, real quick, Big Huss. Look, y'all thought we was gonna forget. Come on now. To our loyal supporters, thank you. Y'all know it's all love. The Main Thing Podcast Presents can't happen without the support from y'all. And to our new supporters, welcome to the community and our family. Look, let's continue to do our part as a community and a family. Please continue to like the videos. It does help with the visibility in the algorithm. Disrespect that comment section. Share and subscribe to the community and our content. And last but not least, make sure to turn on the notification bells, also known as that Liberty Bell looking thingy, so you don't miss when Swoop comes out with the Eagles news and updates.
Yeah, dig. So y'all know how this goes. And if you don't, I go by Big Husk.
And I go by Mr. Owns.
And this is where we keep the main thing. The main thing. Hey, man. Keep it locked. Stay blessed. Stay safe. This flag will slide till we die. And until next time, go birds.
It was I was gonna make a lot of money doing what I wanted to do. I went after it, and it was a struggle to achieve it. But you know what? I caught that bitch. Dream chasing.